I'm Joe Jekel, and this is Madzook, Joe's Perspective. Today's perspective is on global education and the expansion of such education practices. All right, so there's international schools and schools all around, and some countries put better international studies in than others. And some of I don't like the word third world countries, but some of the countries with less money or less aggressive type of development or policy generally kind of isolate themselves, and they don't really put their expansion in. But what's happening now is globalization has been a reality for 30, 40 years or more. And globalized economies have benefited only specific segments of the economy, of each country, and it's usually been the elite. And most of the elite have made tremendous wealth off of their headway into using global trade routes or supply lines and manufacturing or consumerism, because one country may be strong at producing something, but there's no one there to buy it. So they produce it and they buy it. And unfortunately, some of the globalization that has taken place over the past years and decades has been oil and different manufacturing type of things of garments or goods. And what we've seen is unscrupulous practices where people have taken advantage of some of these others. And they may use like a smaller country that has a lower wage to produce their clothes. I'm not going to call out any companies or get myself in any legal trouble here, but for instance, a company might make shoes, and if any company, it's not any specific one, or could be all of them. And they make shoes and they use the rubber and they use the stuff from other countries that they pay pennies on the dollar, US dollar. They pay pennies. And they pay in that currency, and that life sustainability wage is so small. So they'll pay these people a small wage, but it's a livable wage and it's a legal wage in their country. So that, yes, there's an argument that it's legal and it's all that. Then they ship it to the US and then they have the consumer. And then they sell to the consumer this giant brand of, a higher end, but it's built with the quality and workmanship of these other countries. So, this other country might get $5 and the shipping companies might get $5. And then the distributors that distribute it might get $5. So while this creates jobs and economy and it opens up global marketplaces, the ultimate retailer, the person with just the logo or stamped the brand onto it and was in a position to front the money, sure, that's a fair point, was they're going to come out with $50, so other people got their little hands in the pie and it's good and they come out $50. Now, am I saying that, it should be all equity and everything's fair? No, I'm a capitalist at heart, and I believe in a capitalist society. Because of such, I believe that global education is vital for everyone to kind of embrace. And I believe that the kids need more of a global education, sure. But I also think that you adults, you're the ones that are missing the boat right now. You need to start to embrace your own education. You're never too old to learn, and learning is a lifelong process, all right? So I think that the centers, as they start to approach, and I'm opening one in Phuket and Patong, which is a job development center. So I'm going to teach the people of Thailand, of Phuket and Patong, or anywhere that want to come, even the people from foreign countries there, I'm going to teach them strong business English skills. I'm going to teach them different ways of learning how the consumer thinks. I'm going to teach them different ways of how the manufacturer thinks. Because the more education you have that's globalized, the greater your opportunity to find your niche in a globalized society. Now, you've got fair tools. Many people complaining, it's not equity, I don't have everything everyone else has. You can build websites for cheap. Commerce, the banks, they will gladly figure out a way for you to process money, all right? Because they're going to take their cut, believe me, all right? And, you just have to figure out yourself what you can do and how you can sell it, right? Okay? Some people are getting paid just because they're beautiful and they go to beautiful places and they say, look at that, right? They call them influencers, right? They get free hotel rooms. They get free rides in cars. They get free boat rides, plane rides, just to promote products, all right? So, okay, maybe that's not your cup of tea. But if you not all of us can be the most beautiful people in the room, right? It's just a fact of life. But we can all become a bit smarter. And smarter comes through education. And if we have education and we understand globalism, we understand global marketplaces, we understand languages, We understand multiple cultures. Everyone talks about multiculturalism, yay, but they don't know what it means. They think it means we hang out together and we don't call each other names, okay? This is what multiculturalism is spread in American colleges right now. You know what I mean? A society of, you don't insult me and I don't insult you, and there's a privilege there and there's a privilege there. Bullshit, right? We all got the same privilege. We all got the same opportunity, all right? So what you need is education. You want equity? Look at global education, all right? Start to find ways that you can figure out how to educate other people or educate yourself. If you're an educator, don't just follow the script, the line, the bullshit. We have to get away from that because the box is so far outside shaded now, it's not even funny. I mean, they've thrown away books, they've done different things. I mean, it's crazy, the flip-flop and the rotation and what you've learned was good and now it's bad and oh no. So what you need is real-time, real globalized expansions of education. You need useful education. What can they use today, right? I'm going to date myself a little bit here, and I had to practice cursive writing when I was in school. What's that, Joe? Yeah, exactly. All right, well, we had to sit down with these books and just continually write, ying, 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 in this form called cursive handwriting, right? And it was just this way that the script that we had to learn it. It was so important that we learned it. They don't even use it anymore. But you know what? Me and millions of people around the world, specifically in America and Western countries, had to learn this way of writing that's now outdated, not even used anymore. 50 years from now, 100 years from now, 500 years from now, someone finds some of these cursive writings, they're going to go, oh my God, what is this ancient text, right? Like us finding ancient Aramaic or something, they're going to have no idea what it means or what it says. And we had to spend years, 10 years, writing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again to learn this type of text, right? So education is important, but if you only do what is in front of you now, education-wise, then how will you know what's coming, right? Now you can't jump forward and always skip the basics. You need the foundations, for sure. And let me tell you what, languages and cultures, two big things to learn, all right? For globalized society, you need to understand how finances work. How does the money change? You better know that, all right? Number two, you better know how to speak English, your native tongue, and then there's many other good ones. If you're going to do business in Japan, learn Japanese. You're going to do business with China, learn Mandarin. There's a couple of Chinese languages, but learn one and be able to do business there because most of the Chinese can understand the other dialects, all right? So the big ones, English, Chinese, Spanish. If you're doing business in Germany or some kind of specialty area, smaller country, but does big business or specific to you, learn their culture, learn their language, all right? Because I had this conversation with a guy here. He's actually an officer in the Thai military, and him and I had talked about some ways to do a couple business ventures together, and one of our biggest conversations was he understands the Thai mentality, the Thai people. I understand the American people, the Western mentality, right? So while I'm never going to become a Thai and he's never going to become an American, sure, I could get a resident card, he could get a citizenship, right? Those technically can happen, absolutely. But do they understand what our culture means? Do I understand their culture? Do I understand how their thinking and mindset works? Do they understand ours? So you understand surfaces of it, and you understand what you're exposed to, and your limited exposures, again, getting into psychology, form your heuristics or your prejudgments or your prejudices, where you automatically think that they all think this way or they're all like this, right? And that's just not true. Humans are different. But if you understand how it works, you have a global education expansion, right? It's going to help you. So as an adult, I hope that you realize that there's YouTube, there's many softwares and apps and all these things that are out there for you to learn that don't really cost any money or cost a little bit of money, right? It's all up to you. Take the time, educate yourself, find professionals that are willing to help you or have the services that can do it. If you're in Patong, I can help you, right? Come to my shop. I will help you with English. I will help you with the mindset of a Westerner. I'll help you with how the banking and financial systems in America or in the West work. All right, I can help you with these. They're distinctly different than what might be happening in your country, right? Maybe I know your country, maybe I don't. Okay, I don't know all of them, right? I know a few, and I know a lot, but I don't know them all, and I certainly don't know them at the depths that I know my own, right? But I am willing to provide education. I am an educator, and I think that you should all want a globalized expansion. Help each other. Maybe you can educate me too, all right? So this is Madzook Joe's perspective. Globalized education expansions go farther than just the schools, the international schools. I think we need learning centers around the world, right? So let's create them, let's be them, and let's go to them, all right? Let's be better.